We're just about to watch the latest No Name RC podcast. Do you know what? Good news. You can now get NNRC merch from the RC Racing TV website.
Yeah, you can get hoodies, shirts, hats, and even pint glasses.
I'll drink to that. Head over to
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday to everybody out there. What's up, Wally? Wally is in Norco at the TNR Arena Cross race.
Live from the track.
Track looks badass.
That's actually the only reason I'm here, because I was, up until yesterday, I was not planning on coming. I was going to show up on Sunday for the mains, and then they posted a video of the track, and I was like, you know what? That actually looks kind of fun. I'm gonna go. So got my entries, got my hotel, drove out this morning, and we're here.
That's right. Wally is live from his van.
The old race van.
Looks pretty good too.
Yeah, we got.
There you go.
We got room for all the activities. We got a bench. We got the race bench. We got the cars. We got the TV. Got everything ready to go.
All you need is a bed. You can sleep in there.
Yeah. And a shower. That would be nice.
Well, yeah. But it can be done. It can be done. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode number 19 of Coffee and RC. Joining me this weekend is Wally, Nick Watlett. We all know who Wally is. We guys hope you guys are having a good Friday. We want to say a big shout out to all the NNRC squad around the world. We can't do this without you guys. And a big shout out to all the patrons and YouTube members of the NNRC. We greatly appreciate it. And all you guys who support Wally too and what he's doing. We had a really cool conversation before getting on her. We're going to continue that in a minute. I also want to say a big thank you to these companies that make it all possible. They are J Concepts, High Tech RCD, Invisible Speed, who just dropped the pre-orders for their on-road book, Sidewinder Fuels, ML Toys for all your ride on and power wheels needs, Elite RC Productions. Big shout out to those guys. They have the weekend off. Get Shit Done Coffee. That's what I'm drinking right now. Techno RC, One Up Racing, Beach RC, A Main Hobbies, SMC, SJ Racing, and shout out to the Shores Truck Nationals coming up in October. Welcome everybody. I see no messages from anybody on Facebook, so I don't know if it's live on Facebook, but can you guys share this out, please? And I'm thinking of a poll. I don't know what the poll should be this weekend. I like to do a YouTube poll, but I have no idea what it is. So maybe Wally comes up with an idea. Maybe you guys come up with an idea. If you like what we're doing, we do have super chats going. We do appreciate it. There we go. Richard. Oh, I should know how to say this name. Because he's told me. Mia Skewix. I should know this guy's name. All right. Well, anyway, guys, we are back. Like I said, Wally is at the race. He has been busy. You've been racing a lot, Wally.
Yeah, I've been kind of doing a race at least once a week. And it seems like for sure at Huckleberry, I race every Wednesday. That's been really cool and really fun. But yeah, it's been pretty busy as far as the weekends go. It's just been kind of back to back. A-Main and J Concepts have been kind of sending me different places just to kind of take the van, the tents, everything out. I do a lot of the media for the races. So on the West Coast. So it's been fun. And then I obviously like to do races that they don't send me to. So I'm here this weekend just for myself. So I think it'll be a pretty fun weekend.
Yes. I saw that Huckleberry got like 90, almost 100 entries the other day at their race.
That was huge for Huckleberry. Like usually we generally race nights. So there's probably like 35, 40 people there, but that's pretty good for like a Wednesday night. I mean, it's low key. Everything runs pretty smooth. They got this really cool format now no qualifying, just 3 heads-up races, and all races count. And that's been, I think, one of the coolest things. It just changes it up. There's a lot of heads-up racing. And like the coolest thing about it is usually like if Frankie Contreras shows up, it's pretty much he's going to win. But when you have 3 races and every single one of them count, one little mistake is huge. Like I had a couple weeks where I would have a really bad round 1, and I would either happen and I wouldn't finish, or I'd break something and I'd be like a 19. So like I start the night off way behind, and then you can kind of come back with, if you have a good finishes in the second and third one, like you're kind of out of it for the overall, but you can essentially fight for a podium because everybody else could have bad ones. And that happens. Like there's not really, like, it's super hard to be consistent because you start in the front, start in the middle, start in the back. It's all random pretty much. So it's really cool. And I think for club racing, it's a really awesome idea that Matt and Matt at Mod Media and Huckleberry put together. It's really fun.
What are the length of your nights with 90 entries? What time do you get started? What time do you finish up?
It starts around 7 o'clock, and generally it's done by 10.
That's great.
So, yeah, no, it moves really quick. And we'll have like roughly 5 to 6 heats at 7 minutes apiece.
Mm-hmm.
So it moves pretty quick, and it's super fun. And no matter where you're at, you have a chance. Like you're just battling for race wins the whole time. It's pretty cool. I love it.
It's just all heads up racing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been Lance actually does that in his 10 scale series in Florida. All heads up racing. No qualifiers. It's just heats. And
yeah,
I have actually, now that I'm doing a lot more 10 scale stuff and I've been focused on a lot of 10 scale, I have really come to appreciate the quicker 3 mains. And because it makes for more exciting racing, because it's, yes, look, I love nitro racing and I like longer mains, but I am not objective to 2 15-minute mains or 3 15-minute mains. And because I just think that it makes for more exciting racing. I hate runaways. Like I don't like, the Worlds is coming up. I don't really, yes, I have people that I would like to see win. I just want a good race. I don't want to see, like, I want to see a race like 2022 between Ronafalk and Angaro. I don't care who's battling. I just don't want to see a runaway like we saw in 2024. I don't want to see a runaway like we saw at the World's warm-up.
Yeah.
So, and even some of the races that I've been, they just get a little boring. So hopefully I am not objective to splitting the mains up. And yeah, all heads up racing, 3-hour club race day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is the most fun. I look forward to Wednesdays. Like, yeah, I just love racing, obviously, but that format just makes it so much more fun. And it's interesting the whole way through. Like, you're watching the points and you're just watching everyone's names just go like this the whole time until you get to like the third one. And then everything obviously sorts itself out, but it's crazy. Like, you could win and then your next one's a 15 because something wrong happened or you didn't get a good start. And the way that they do it, if there's 2 heats, say there's 2 heats for like expert buggy, even race against each other, all the times get stacked together. So it's one overall. It's like how qualifying would work, but it's heads up.
Got you. I know what you mean.
So like, yeah, if you win your heat, you have a good chance at TQing or winning the round, but you can also get like a second or a third if the other guys are faster than you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
So, I mean, it just seems like, along with like the JBRLs and the top-notch series that you have going on, as well as these type of races that Chris has put it on, because now he's a 2-track owner. He has Palm Desert. I don't know what he called the other one, Thunder Alley, formerly
Thunder
Drake
Alley.
Racing.
Yep.
Is it back to Thunder Alley?
It's Thunder Alley again.
Okay, so he's uber busy and then put it on a race like this. But the club racing scene seems to be good. I mean, I think the 3 main tracks, let me think. It's Revelation always is going to get people there. I mean, literally there are some people that live there. I don't know if that's still that like that, but it's close and people
No,
go there.
it's cleaned up now. They cleaned it up a lot. It's still kind of run down a little bit the last time I was there, but at least like the homeless people are cleaned up. And it's
but they were racing RC too, so that was crazy.
I remember going there one time and there was just a bum laying between a double. I was like,
that's pretty
bad.
Just
jump in or what what is the plan here?
But you got that, and then Huckleberry is like privately owned on somebody's property, correct?
Yeah, it's actually it's called the Huckleberry Fishing Lakes, and they just have a section. But like the RC stuff has been doing so well for them, like the fishing lakes was like, yeah, go for it, take more land, build the on-road track. So the RC side of that pond is doing really good to where they're like, hey, yeah, we want to keep growing this and making it bigger and bigger. So they did an on-road track that's really nice. Notch Johnson runs all that. And then on the off-road side, they expanded it quite. It's a pretty big track. It went from like 19 to 21 second lap times to like 35s with the new expansion. Oh, wow. So they made the track quite a bit bigger, and the layouts are really cool. It's really technical. It's like if you took a real full-size 8-scale track and just scaled it down, like made all the lanes a little bit narrower. It has the roughness. It has the high-speed sections. It has the rhythm sections. It has everything that you would want on a big track, just in a smaller package. And it's awesome. I think Frankie Contreras even said like he was in like going from like where he was in intermediate to where he is now. He was just going to Huckleberry all the time and just running. He's like, I think I got faster just going there.
Really? How is the surface? Is it like California surface? Is it okay? So it's like a California track.
Yeah, like there's ruts and bumps and everything. So you get you get everything in one track. It's pretty cool. You get like some high speed smooth stuff. Then you have some rough ones. You have good rhythms. Right now there's like a 35 foot triple on the track, and it's huge. Like
really,
the first time when they first put that in, there was an E-Truggy that actually jumped over the fence and hit a brand new Escalade. So now they have this gigantic net that goes up like 10 feet past the top of the fence. Like it's super tall now. Like you can't jump anything over it now. But yeah, I was like, oh, that jumps massive.
Really? So that's pretty nice. And how far away is this like for the average person to go to in California?
I mean, if you're in Orange County, you're probably like it's 30 minutes for me.
Okay.
Like
that's not bad.
And I will hop in the van and just drive out at like we'll leave here like 4:15 and get there about 5, depending on traffic. It's just how it goes. But yeah, no, it's not. It's kind of centralized. I mean, the Inland Empire guys can go there pretty easily. The Orange County guys can go there. So it's kind of like in the right spot for what it is.
Sweet. Is Hot Rods still doing like is it Tuesday night? Nats Worlds and like so it seems like club racing in SoCal has still always been strong. And it seems to be like on an uptick right now. Yeah, and working on something to like make it a little stronger because we have all these tracks doing club races. We're getting like sometimes we'll get good turnouts at one event, but then Revelation, the Dirt, Channel Islands, Speed Lot, they all have a race on the same. And now all your racers that are in Southern California are all over the place. Like, oh, I'm going to this track to this day. I'm going to this track this day. So I built like on Messenger, I built a little like SoCal like club race group. And I said, everyone just add whoever you want in here. This is kind of like to build a plan when there is no big race weekend like how we have now. Get in there, post where you're going, and then let's try and get a group to go to one track at a time and then make it like a circus so that the racing's good. Yeah, some tracks probably won't have any entries at one race for right now, but if it kind of like funnels all the tracks to work together and kind of make like we're racing this Saturday, we're racing this Saturday, we're racing this Saturday, we're racing this Saturday, we can get that circus to kind of jump from like the Dirt, Channel Islands, Rev, Thunder Alley, and then just make a good group of guys and everything go to every round of all these rounds, almost like a club race series. But
It's just keeping everything organized and maximizing turnouts for each of the tracks.
I think you suffer from what everybody else does who has a good bit of tracks around them or within 2 to 3 hours of them. We say we want more tracks, and I agree. We need more tracks, but we need more tracks. Not everybody can have a track an hour away from them, unfortunately. So
yeah,
you have to organize things so each track kind of can. Everybody has to eat, right? Everybody has to have their weekend, and booking on top of other tracks and all that stuff. It's a problem. So it's good that you do a little calendar and try to get people organized, because it's nice to have the variety, right? And
yeah,
it would be good that everybody can survive off of it. So good stuff, man. But yeah, I think my timeline has just kind of been flooded with a lot of stuff coming out of SoCal. Obviously, been your stuff too, because I seen you've been racing. That's the thing about Huckleberry, and I was like, man, that's amazing. It's been some time since I've been up to California. I really would like to come back. So maybe next year it might be in the books. We shall see. Great stuff, man. And you have been uber just busy right now. You're working with A-Main. I actually interviewed your boss yesterday.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It was kind of going around the office.
Yes. It was actually a really good chat. So
yeah, Kevin's a really good dude.
Yeah, he was like, I see your shows are pretty long. I was like, yep. And we went for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. So it was good. It was a good chat with him. I had never met him. I probably have met him, but I don't know. And it was just a good chat with the guy and what you guys are doing at A-Main. So good stuff. All right. So I guess we're going to get into what is going on. You are building your Hong Nor, or putting it back together. So as we speak, well, kind of as we were speaking, what's going on in Hong?
I build shocks, but okay. I always do the shocks of the track. I'll build the car back at the office, but always shocks of the track.
Okay. What tell us how things have been going with the Hong Nor. I see one guy in Florida has one, Richard Vasquez. He runs it. I was looking at it when I saw him last. And tell us what's going on with the Hong Nor.
It's been really good. I feel like I don't know exact numbers, but I feel like I've had my most consistent podiuming and winning year so far. The car is really easy to drive. It goes together really well. Some things wear out a little faster than I'd like, but aside from that, like, the car's been awesome. And the guys at Huckleberry are now running them. I think we got 5 or 6 of them kind of starting there. I'm building a ton of these things. I've probably built 6 or 7 in the last month, and then I have like another 4 or 5 sitting in the office waiting. And even the latest car just came in, which is a pretty cool one. Eli Tomac is going to be running a Hong Nor buggy up in Colorado. So I just got his stuff in. We're going to build his stuff next week and ship it out. But when he came through, I was like, oh, wait, is this like for real? Like, is this the scam page, or is this like actually he wants a car? And I talked to him for a little bit, and he ordered one right off the website, and then said, just make another order for anything that I need, as starter boxes, igniters, fuel, just bill me. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to build out a whole Nitro buggy for him. And then we'll see what he does with it. I can't wait to see him driving a car again. That's pretty cool.
Me too, because you said he used to race at OCRC, right?
Yeah. He used to race back at OCRC, like on the Geico Honda days.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably 2011, 2012. And yeah, he ran OCRC when he was out here for like Anaheim Supercross and stuff like that. And yeah, pretty cool. Him and Barsha would come out. Villapoto used to come out a little bit here and there. Actually, Villapoto got like really into it that year that he raced MXGP. When he was getting ready to go. What's that? Villapoto,
okay.
He would actually train all day and then spend the rest of the other half of the day at the track. He would just be running. And I watched him go from getting around the track to winning Sportsman to battling mid-pack and expert in like a span of like 3 weeks. Like, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Didn't Malcolm used to race at OCRC as well?
Yep. Malcolm,
Yep.
Justin Cooper. Who else? Barsha. Yeah, he's one. Yeah, there's been a few. There's been a few guys.
Man, I hope Eli Tomac likes it. And I hope he races a lot because it will be
super
great.
cool to see if he comes out and races.
You know, we get excited about this type of stuff, but at the same time, these guys kind of just want to enjoy themselves too and not be bothered. So, but it will be good, and I'm actually eager to see how he had, because I think we was talking about this off air. I think that the guys that run moto, or even guys that just, it seems motocross is a little more, because our hobby or sport is more, the physics are more motocross than anything, and it's interesting to see how these guys who come from a motocross background are able to adapt, because it's so similar, right?
Yeah, the physics are actually really close. Like it's surprising like how similar it actually is. Obviously, the controls are different, the way that you do it, but like the same concept works for both. Like when you whip a car or whip a bike, like it's the same idea. Gotta kind of do a couple things different. Obviously, you don't have the weight of your body throwing the car around, but similar idea. You can kind of get that same effect with the gyro of the tires.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
it's gonna be badass too. And maybe one day we'll be like, hey, there he is. Is that DNC or is that PMB?
Yeah,
Silver State.
that would be a really cool. That'd be a cool deal.
You also built some Busch cars too.
Yep, that's on the agenda too. I built a couple for him. We were doing like an oval car for him before, and then like his modern stuff. And I still have all of his vintage cars that I'm going to prep for the Team Associated race in Vegas. So that's probably next month's projects, just to get some time on those before we go. And then I'm going to go up like the week before the race and go break all the cars in. He's renting out a section of the track, or he's renting out a spot, and we're going to build some just like a test track just to kind of break everything in beforehand.
Yeah, because I heard him and Ashton actually rented the outside area of where the fifth scale racing was at Silver State last year and prepped for the vintage race.
I will say those guys are gnarly. They are into it.
Yes.
They are. The amount of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that I don't know if really should talk about, but I'm just like, you guys are really into it.
Yes,
so
I would imagine so.
It'll be a solid program. I know that when it's all ready to go.
Awesome. Also, I kind of, Wallie, like I thought you was my boy, but then you went and built my Nemesis's reactor truck. I just saw that today.
Honestly, my defense, I didn't know who I was building it for. Jason just said, hey, can you build us a reactor? And I was like, sure. And then I built it, sent it off. And apparently it was for your Nemesis.
Wallie built Danny Paz's reactor. You may be asking, where is my reactor? Half built on my bench. I got the electronics in, so I got to put the electronics in. My body is at Dylan Caldwell. I haven't heard from her. Hopefully it gets painted. And Danny and I are going to be racing at ONS, and you're coming to ONS, right? Too as well, right,
I am.
Wallie? What are you going to race at ONS?
I'm going to race gas truck out there.
Yes, that's going to be fun.
I have a Saxton truck I'm building right now.
Oh,
it's going to be pretty rad.
I got a shout out.
I always forget it, but Jimmy over at RC
Jimmy Woodley,
Classic
RC
Jimmy Woodley.
Company.
He hooked me up with the motor and a pipe this morning that I found out, and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty rad. So gonna have one of his engines and his pipe in the truck, and it's gonna ready to rip that thing. So I think this is gonna be there's the two builds. There's pretty much the two builds that I'm like really looking forward to right now is the Tomac Hongnor build, and then my own gas truck. Two cool things that I get to like go a little above and beyond on and have some time for.
Are you going to retro mod your gas truck, like put the big bores and all that stuff on it? I think you have to be honest.
Oh, so, I've got a list of parts that are going on this thing. I tried. I was trying. I wanted to do the GT2 quick change rear hubs. I wanted on like front and rear. I did it on my T4 back in the day, just modifying like the conversion kit. And I started like lining things up. I've had to go find the quick change hubs and axles and everything on eBay. I ended up finding it, and then I got them, and they're like, the axle's way longer than the actual hub. So I don't know if it's gonna work out. And I mean, maybe I'll do something with it later, but for right now, I'm just gonna run like the RC10T factory team and RC10 factory team hex conversions, so I can just run the modern wheels.
Yeah. So Jimmy's engines are great, by the way. Classic RC companies. They're Nova based 12s. He's been working very hard and very close with Nova. My engine, I probably should have touched the needles in my last final or whatever I did, but I didn't. But it started up and it cut out. My engine is cut out once on me because I didn't lean it out because I ran out of fuel. So big shout out to Jimmy. He also has Ignite Design RC, but that's kind of on the back burner. Because it's getting really difficult to get stuff for that. But Ben Buckingham just asked, he's got a Schumacher converted one. He's going to be the guy to beat at B&T. Ben Buckingham, he's fast. That's his home track.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so he has a Schumacher one. We got Kevin Mendez, Jeff Reddy, Michael Elrod, and Puranas RC Racing, Eli Tomac. That's super dope. Good morning to all of you guys. And then I think I'm going to be running gas truck and then reactor. So he says, Dark Concept says 30 plus gas trucks signed up for ONS finals. Wow.
I love it.
Man, I just want to make the final.
Super cool.
So it's good. It's good. It's definitely going to be hot. Does B&T have any breeze? Is it in the ocean whatsoever?
I think he said a hoot. It's going to be a hoot.
Oh, I thought he meant hot.
I mean, it's probably going to be hot.
Too.
It's going to be hot. I think that would be if you're saying it like that. I feel like it's gonna be HAWT. That's gonna be hot.
They're actually getting a roof on that track. They started.
Are they?
Yeah, they put the footings down. Oh, my dog's in her. His grunting away. Yeah, they put the footings down here shortly. Last week or something. I don't think they're gonna have a roof by the time we get there, but it will have a roof very soon. So it should be fun, and it's Dark Concepts. It's going to be moist. Well, humidity.
It's going to be moist.
Yes, humidity. Hopefully, none of the R word. All right. So tell us a little bit about this arena cross track. What's going on? I honestly, I think I've been so in my editing, my editing mode and recording so much over the last couple of weeks. I didn't even know that there was. I knew Chris was having another race, but I didn't know what was happening this weekend.
Yeah. I mean, going off of the race, and I think it's January, February. Like I said, I wasn't going to do this race again because it's just that one specifically is pretty unorganized as far as the race program goes. I feel like it needs a little bit of help. The prizes are awesome. The give back is awesome. Everything about the race is awesome, but the program that you show up to go race is not organized. This one, I feel like since it doesn't have all the crazy prizes, it's more of a regular kind of race. This one usually runs a lot smoother. And the track right now, I walked up and took some photos and looked at it from the driver's stand. The track looks awesome. Like I can't wait to see how it's going to turn out. I think the one thing that might be a little iffy on how the conditions are going to be is that they're going to run fifth scales at the same time. So I don't know if that's going to destroy the track or what's going to happen, because the track really does groove up. So it's going to be a lot of unknowns, I feel like. But I mean, I brought plenty of JC tires, pins, the high grip tires. So we kind of have all occasions ready to go. But yeah, the layout looks fun. The program looks like it's going to run a lot smoother. I think Daniel Adams is going to run it. Yep. So we'll be pretty solid. I think it'll be a fun weekend.
So is this more like a big California race with it's like Mayfield and those guys come in? I know Heckert like kind of lives over there, but
I don't think so.
Okay.
I feel like the first one of the year, the January one, is the bigger one. And this is more of like, you might see some pros. I know Lutz is here. I've seen him walking around, but for the most part, at least from what I saw in signups, it's just kind of the local pros. So I mean, I think it'll be big. You got Frankie Contreras here, Fishback's here, Lutz, like I said, and Carlos Arredondo. So it'll be pretty good racing, I think. But yeah, it's not like what the first one was, where you had like Mayfield and Seth and all those guys. I don't think you're going to get that level of driver here this weekend.
Okay, so I'm that's pretty cool. I'm guessing he's got those 2 dates and he gets a good price on them. So because I mean, it should be a decent race with less people. It will go smoother. It's a guaranteed race. I looked at the track. That place, like every person that I've talked to about that facility says it's like perfect for everything.
Yeah.
So it's good.
It's really good. It grooves. It's weird. It's like it grooves up, but it can also get bumpy. But it's not bad. Like the dirt is really good. I don't know what it is. I think it's just another round of horse arena dirt. So I think that dirt is just good for RC in general because it works over at Silver State, and we have like a California version of that here, and it grooves up really nice. The grip is good, and it makes for really good racing, I feel like.
Well, it's got a roof, but it has open sides, so it still gets some of the moisture in, unlike a Silver State or some of these other arena races that we go to that are all closed in. So it looks good. It should be good. I don't think it has coverage. He does his own coverage, so it might. I'll pop in. And I'm taking after this. When I get off of this, I am taking a break. I think my phone's going on do not disturb till Monday. So I'll pop in though. And then also on the East Coast, I know there's a lot of racing going on, but the two big races that I know are going on. We have the LCRC having one of their races this weekend, and that's going to
be Party Rock race. I think I saw
something. It's
that
packed.
One?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's whenever they have a race, it gets packed. Like everybody goes to it. So that should be good. And next week, I will be tuned in. We got Euros going on in Madrid, so I'll be watching that because I really enjoy the Euros. And then it's ONS not too long away. I feel like I haven't been home long enough. I haven't. So but ONS should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I have to finish my reactor.
Yeah. I got two more to build, I feel like. So I think he said 2. So I might be racing one.
I don't care who I lose to as long as it's not Danny Pass. And if I'm just like I'm to the point now, I'm just gonna smash him, like knock him off the track.
That's one way to get it done.
JW asks you, Nick, are you going to JBRL in a couple of weeks?
Yep, this part of the reason why I wasn't going to go to this race is because JBRL is next weekend. So I was going to take this weekend off and then go to JBRL because that's going to be in Bakersfield and that'll be a heater. So yeah, I'll be there next weekend and racing this weekend too.
Where is it?
It's up in Bakersfield, up at Godel Boys.
Oh, is that another like backyard track or similar?
I think I went there last year or 2 years ago. I feel like it's in like a park or like on the side of a park. I couldn't really tell where I was. I just kind of followed the roads and ended up in a track. So I'm not quite sure where it's at. There was like a city there. I remember a park being on one side. So I don't know if it's like a yard that's just kind of like open, but it's not really anything specific. It just looks like it's just kind of extra land that was just kind of there.
And speed. I saw somebody on an e-bike with a cat with a.
That's Tad Wilder right there. Oh no, he has that thing everywhere.
Yeah, I think he's not. That's actually very smart. It's you said Speed Lot. That's a off-road track as well, or on-road?
Yeah. Speed Lot's another track down in Ramona, California. Like if you were to go San Diego and then just go east, probably like 40, 50 miles, it's like another hidden gem of a track. Like it's relatively new. I think they've been around for about 2 years now. And we just started going there maybe like last year. And the whole track is built on a hillside. So and like the back lane, when they do the full track size with a full track size, the back lane is like the same height as the driver's stand. Like the elevation is serious up there. Like you're watching your car and it's like your eye level with your wheels as you go down the back section.
So yeah, so you got to like climb uphill, go downhill.
Yeah, like
it's a track.
there was it had to be like a 40 something foot downhill triple. I have a video of it. I only double singled it. I wasn't trying to break my stuff because that jump was massive and it was hard to make. So I was like, I'll just double single. But there was guys, I think Jermaine and Brandon Rose, when we were getting ready for DNC, were jumping the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to break stuff today.
Those guys are a different level than either of us. That's similar to a track in Florida, a new track, Claremont, and it's on a hill. It's all on a hill. So that's and then it goes flat, and it actually has a boat track too because it's right next to a alligator retention system. In other words, water in Florida.
Yep.
Anywhere there's water in Florida, there's going to be alligators. That's the safest.
I was kind of bummed when I went to Florida the last time. I didn't see anything.
You know where I saw my first?
I went to Beachline. Yeah, Beachline, and then I also went to New Red Hobbies. It was kind of more in the center.
That's in the center. It's closed now.
Yeah. So I went there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to watch out for alligators. They're everywhere." I was like, "All right, well, not one the whole trip. I was there for like a week and a half."
In the water, yes. In the water, yes.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I saw an alligator outside of the water was actually early at ONS this year, up in Georgia. Well, Georgia, South Carolina. When we was on our way to our camp, he was about 8 feet long in somebody's yard.
That's big. That's a massive water puppy.
I mean, literally, I call them alligator ramps. People build like, oh yeah, let me just build my lawn right onto the edge of the water and make it easy for this alligator to climb up there and eat my pets.
Yeah.
But yes, when in Florida, just treat even pools. Just treat it like it's all full of alligators. Because it is.
Florida,
you'll be all right.
Florida people are like a different breed, though. Like I've seen videos where they go up and like start petting the alligators. Oh no, it's just a nice little swamp puppy.
No, not doing that. Not doing that. In fact, Beachline has an alligator in their pond in the back, or had, but not a big.
So that's the one they must have been talking about then.
Yes. Just don't go swimming in Florida. Period.
Yep, sounds good.
All righty. So something else I want to talk about. On-road. So on my feed this past weekend, I had heard about this track because the Dominican guys that race on-road here were talking about it. And I was like, when I saw this track pop up, so Scotty went there this weekend to do, he raced. And then I think Ryan Thurfield did the coverage. But this track is called the Groove RC Raceway I'm trying to bring up the video here. Give me a second. And what an amazing looking track this is, on-road track. It's about an hour and a half outside of I actually talked to Scotty about this today. Oops, sorry, trying to get this right. It's about an hour and a half outside of Chicago O'Hare. But look at this, and it's in a motorsports facility. So they had a 10 scale and 8 scale race this past weekend. They're there, and man, that's a nice on-road track. But it's meant for like
really nice on-road track.
I know. And I'm going to be racing some on-road here shortly here in the DR. But look at this. That's nice. It looks like, yes. Wow, look, it's got covered pits and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 2 driver stands. What the heck?
That 2 drivers? Yeah, I guess it is 2 driver stands.
Huh.
Or is that like an observation deck?
I think that's an
observation deck. I know we have those
deck.
at the dirt. Yeah. I got booted off the Techno one at DNC. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I was coughing. I have a little bit of a cold. I've been coughing a lot this week. So yes, it's beautiful. I think it's going to be good. Obviously, it's in the Midwest, so wintertime is not going to be usable. But I mean, I know on-road isn't big, especially Nitro on-road is not big in America, but over in Europe and Asia, it's pretty decent. So maybe they'll get some people racing. If you guys heard some weird grunting noises, it's my dog. Hey, take it easy. He's got the scratches and he is going crazy. All right. Well, let's pay some bills real quick and then we'll come back. Did you have any topics you wanted to talk about? I asked you to jot some down. I know you've been busy. I pretty much
I didn't have anything. I was just gonna kind of wing it if I can think of anything off the top of my head. But
well, we had INS this last weekend, and dude, their Schumacher cars are kicking ass on carpet.
Oh yeah, I remember like back when my buddy Justin was racing, the 4-wheel at least was like crushing everybody. I remember I think Orlowski came out and just the 80 boys just had nothing for him. So
yeah, Kobovic won 2-wheel drive.
Faster.
Yeah, sorry. Kobovic won 2-wheel drive, and Tom Rendenek, because I interviewed him yesterday, really quick, won. Hold on. No, Kobovic won. I'm confused. Kobovic won 4-wheel drive. Tom won 2-wheel drive. And then Schumacher won. Danny Chavez won 2-wheel drive with Schumacher. And then McCoy Martin won. But that track looked nice. Dude, I'm not going to lie. The spec, I call it the stock class or the spec class now, expert spec class, really is exciting. It is. I know we were the biggest haters of this class.
Yeah.
But the competition level that I've gotten to know, yes, it's not pro level. Not all of those guys are going to be pro, but man, them guys out there battling. Even in mod now, there's no guaranteed winner. Like Brock has not won an INS yet this year. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it should be good. And I've been geeking out on 10 scale quite a lot. So and I love just that there's quick races, right? And it's even when Danny and I will be going, but like, man, we're going to a 10 scale race. It's going to be, because it's always action, right? And it's just been fun. It's been fun. And getting to know a lot of the people on there. And it's possible that you guys can have INS out there next year on the West Coast. So it's going to be interesting.
There's been talks. I don't think anything's really locked in yet, but I've heard INS and an ONS would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. What's up,
I'd definitely
Corey?
be ONS out here.
I missed it, but Corey had Little Bump on his show last night. This is my buddy Lex. He says the surface at Island was interesting. Yeah, Tom said it was some sort of office carpet that they use up at PDX, and it had a lot of grip. It looked like CRC or Beachline carpet, but it wasn't. So, and he said he likes it but yeah, you look great. I watched a lot of it, and congratulations to everybody. I got to make a whole bunch of recaps about that here over the next couple of weeks. But let's pay some bills and let's come back. I want to say a big shout out to the companies that make this possible. Shout out to J Concepts, Techno RC, and Beach RC. All righty. Thank you, J Concepts, for all the support. Team 11 RC says it had infinite rear traction. Lots of JC guys running the Nessie. That's what Tom said. With cut pins, they wanted, and the hot race drivers were gluing rear sidewall. Wow.
Wow. That's a lot of grip.
So should be interesting. You know what else race is going on this weekend? I forgot. Maybe not as big, but the Fullers up at their race, the RC compound. Cause that's where Tom's going this weekend, and like Nate Sutherland and those guys, they're going up there to race. And that's actually
you saw the videos of that track.
Yes.
That track looks rad. That's like the most elevation you'll ever see in Iowa.
and they have a part of the track that's made out of like brick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. And Fuller's
now,
man,
is that the Fuller's track?
I think they maintain it. I don't think it's their land.
Okay.
So it should be good. Everybody's, the eye is on the world's coming up, man. Look, yeah. I'm excited for it. I think the whole 1/8 scale RC world is excited for the upcoming IFMA World Championships. And you saw that Afra released a video the other day of Carlos sniffing the tires. But people didn't hear what he said at the end. At the end, he says, you can basically, they're not going to be enforcing this until another few years. And you can actually, so the rule from my understanding of the rule set is that they basically don't want you saucing in the pits. So you can sauce.
Oh, it's one of those situations.
Yeah, you can sauce off the premises, but not in the pits. And I suggested, why not just have a saucing station?
What Reedy Race used to do.
Yeah, just have a sauce station.
They did a control tire sauce, and you had to sauce in the station. That was it.
I don't think they're gonna enforce the rule of the sauce. I just think they're gonna make it easy. If you want to have a control sauce, cool. I don't think you need it. Just have a place where they can sauce, or just like, hey, we don't want your wheels. We don't want you saucing in the pits. If you want to sauce out in the field over there, cool. But I think they kind of realize that maybe we can enforce this rule properly. So I did talk to so somebody from New Zealand reached out to me after we talked about that, and they use that quite a lot in their 10 scale racing. So to check for sauce, because they absolutely don't want it. Now I asked how it works in 8 scale, and we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. I remember I saw a comment from like Tyler Brown saying like from real full-size cars, like it doesn't quite work because I just kind of read through it quick, but I think it was like different compounds kind of smell a bit different. So it kind of, I don't know how it totally works, but he said it might not be the most accurate thing, but I mean, it's a way to start at least.
Okay. Well, I don't really, I like her about this racing. I understand the sauce stuff and why people don't want it, but we're under a roof with nitro fumes and dust everywhere. So
yeah,
come on, that's worse for you, especially when you go to these horse arenas. What do you think's mixed in all the dirt?
Yeah, it's not just dirt.
Yeah, so it's different, but that's fine. That's fine. Hopefully they're gonna come to their senses, and if they want to use it in the future, sure. But you got to just test. You can't just say you're gonna do it, and that's what they said in that video. And Carlos, I'm pretty sure that's what IFMAR stance is going to be on it when it comes up. So it is going to be interesting. Then what I didn't want for this race was it to be like one of those races where it's an asterisk or not a proverbial, but a proverbial asterisk where people say, well, he cheated. No,
he sauced.
Yeah, like, come on. That's going to like just ruin the whole thing and just create unnecessary drama. So I think they have changed that. You know what? I needed to reach out to Roar. I wanted to I was wondering, why is the Raw Nationals in August? Because it's at Chico, and if anybody in the chat knows, let me know. I just haven't had time to reach out to Roar and ask them what's happening. All right, Wallie. So, other than everything that you've been doing, what is next for you? We know you're coming to ONS. Are you going to any other races this year?
I mean, I'll just continue doing most of like the West Coast stuff. I wanted to go to the Mugen Challenge this year, but unfortunately it does cross over with a race that I'm to do like the media for, so I'm gonna have to skip out on this year, but maybe next year. Yeah, and then basically kind of open to whatever, as long as the schedule is open. Like I'm kind of open to whatever races. And JC's been offering me to go to different races. I'm going to go up to Kyle Layton's track up in Auburn, California, which is kind of like maybe 45 to an hour outside of Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
They're having like it's called the Dirt Invert. I mean, I think not Hobby Action. Another track in Arizona used to have the Dirt Invert. It was kind of like Brian Kinwald's race and like his format idea. And it's really like what Huckleberry's doing, where you run 3 mains and all of them count. But the first main so there is qualifying. And then the first main is you line up by your qualifying order as normal. The second one is an inverted version of your finishing order from the first one. And then the third starting order is your inverted finish from the second one. So you're like, again, you're just gonna be like all over unless you're like super consistent and you win, start last, and you start last again, you're gonna pretty much start everywhere. So that'll be pretty fun. It's gonna be a 10 scale race. So I'm gonna run the gas truck in Florida and then jump the next weekend over to Auburn and go do the gas truck out there. So it'll be pretty fun to do back-to-back week with that.
Oh, they're gonna have gas truck there.
Yeah,
interesting.
Gas truck and short course and all the other all your normal classes. So,
and you've been racing some short course lately at SDRC as well, right?
Yeah, I did the Nationals warm up. That was another race that I was covering for A-Main and JC, and then also I went out to the Midsummer Shootout over at Coyote Hobbies, and I'm not gonna lie, like the first day I got to Coyote with the short course, I was ready to pull any last hair that I had out because I couldn't go around the track to save my life. It was like I could come to a stop and turn to go around a 180 and the truck will flip over.
Traction.
This is insane. I don't even know what to do. So I changed. I mean, I had the list is a little smaller on the pit board right here, but I was changing so many things the whole day. And then I was like, I think I got it pretty good. Like, it's going to be okay. And I was still like a second to a second off of what the local short course guys were doing. And I was like, man, I'm way off on something. And then I like the way the J Concepts F2 body looks for the short course, like the big square bulky looking one. But I didn't realize that it just compared to the standard like high flow J Concepts body, there's no body that compares to that thing. Like, it looks cool, but it works really good. That I put that body on the truck without, like, I had the setup that I thought was pretty good with the other body, with the F2 body. And then Dave over at Coyote was like, here, try this thing. Put it on. It was like a different truck. I could jump go around the corners. It didn't roll over. I was like, oh my God, that's a noticeable difference. And then I ran that body for Q3 and was like, okay, so it's pretty good. With 2 minutes to go, the tires get warm and then it starts traction rolling again. So I ended up gluing. I don't think I have the tire in here, the one that I did, but this was like just one that I ran. So I did the sidewall and then glued up to like right here on the other tire. When I did that, I could drive that thing as hard as I wanted and never wanted to roll over. It was like a game changer for short course on that level of grip.
Well, because the short course has
Rivkin on that, because Rivkin's the one that told me to do that. And I said, I don't know about that. If the world champ tells you to do something, just do it.
You know, they were gluing their tires that far at E-Buggy Worlds too in the first few days when the grip was so high. Yeah, on the 8 scales. I assume that's because the short course truck is just tires a little taller, has a little higher sidewall, so it's gonna just fold over. Yeah.
So that tire got warm and soft. That thing just wanted to. It didn't matter what you did; it just rolled over. But with that, I could just hold it wide open through all the sweepers and just kind of felt like just drive it like a regular car. It wasn't like on edge. It was just like it had steering, it had grip. It just didn't roll over anymore.
And in short course, body is important in all classes now. But in short course, with a body taking up so much space, so much airflow, Then you need a JP Speak says we need Avalon bodies for short course truck. This is a discussion Max and had about.
Oh, is that touring car body?
Yeah. So it's actually pretty unique. It's pretty cool. It has turbo boost.
What?
The body has turbo boost. It's the way I described it. So the downforce of when you get to a point, it gets so the downforce of the body pushes down so much, the wheels kind of get like it's like I call it turbo boost. Like it goes so fast that the body drops down a little bit and then it goes faster. Like it's even better. Yeah,
plants the grip. It just grips up that much. That's crazy.
Yeah, because the way the air flows over it, and then it's all that but it looks ugly. So
yeah,
I am not the biggest on-road guy or claim to know, but and I am an idiot, and that's probably what I got out of the conversation when me and Max were talking about it. So it's actually pretty cool, but I don't like. But hey, that's an argument for another day.
Yeah, I'm not too. I think the on-road stuff kind of needs to stay kind of more like relatively like a real car. If you start getting too wild, then you're gonna start having things that just look insane.
Well, we do. They do. They look like Priuses.
Like it's getting that way. Like
Priuses. So we was like, they should do hypercar bodies, but the purists out there, like Pekka, when you talk to him, is like, no, we just leave the bodies out there because they're faster, and that's what it comes down to. It's just like short course. You need that body. Yes, BJ. Talking of E-Buggy Worlds, Raw is accepting bids for the 2027 E-Buggy Worlds next year.
Huckleberry, jump on that.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. So have you been to a Worlds yet, Wally?
I went to the 2016 one in Vegas.
Okay, right. It takes a lot to put on a Worlds because IFMAR has a big list of things that you have to have ready for them, right? And Mr. Scotty Foy, rear motor debate. That would have to be between somebody that actually cares, like Max, because I
care about rear motor.
Well, that would be, you two would be perfect to discuss about that, because I am not that nostalgic about that stuff. But yes, we need Max is a rear motor guy. No, Max is a mid motor is faster than rear motor, and the rear motor guys are all saying, but it's never going to end, and Max is never.
I'm on the fence. I like when I was watching that clip when Max was talking about the rear motor versus the mid motor from ONS, and for sure the mid motor was a little faster as far as like lap times and everything. But when you watch like Spencer's lap times where they go like up and down and up and down and up and down, and then you watch Mayfield's, they were just kind of like the same, a little off, but the same. The average person that's not a Spencer or a Mayfield can probably take a rear motor car out to like an ONS race in the sportsman class and go enjoy the weekend way more than if he's trying to set a mid motor car up to do the same thing.
That's
I think on a
kind of
consumer level, rear motor is going to be one to go with.
That's kind of my gist on it with the outdoor style of racing. And I have no interest in the vintage side of things, but the only car that I would want for a rear motor car would be the new the RC10 FTE that they came out with, because it looks cool.
I got one of those.
Yes, cool. I like those. I like the way they handled and all that type of stuff. So, but he's not going to back down from that point. So we got to have a debate. I think him and Chris Van Der, as people were messaging me, I was like, do not message me. Message Max. It's his debate, not mine.
Right. The other thing that I have with that is like, how much time did Mayfield actually put into setting up that car?
And this is another point that people brought up as well. So, look, all I care about is that if people like rear motor and racing outdoors and that gets more people racing, great. I had a blast at ONS. It was fun. I didn't run any rear motor stuff. Most of the people I talked to that were out there running outdoors enjoyed it. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Now, the racing side of things, passion side, like watching and diagnosing and all that type of stuff, give me modern all day long. I'm just being honest with you. I care about that more than for my fix on racing comes from 10 scale and 8 scale racing. Like what we're racing now, modern stuff. Having fun, doing cool things, doing the ONS, that type of stuff. If I do ONS next year, I would definitely think of doing maybe 2-wheel drive, one of those RC10s, the factory team editions. The vintage stuff's cool. Excuse me. The vintage stuff is cool, and I like seeing that stuff around there. And I get it why people want to run them, but I personally don't have no interest in. I'm actually going to be interviewing Jose Zayas next week, who's he's building he's got a company that does a lot of stuff for low-C cars. I think all that stuff's cool, but I care about performance, and if rear motor factory team edition buggy is what I want, or a factory team edition truck, because I think I just want to stick to stadium trucks and outdoor racing.
Yeah,
but if I'm going to be indoor, so I think you run what you want to run. If you want to run mid-motor on outdoor tracks, go ahead. If you want to run, I think a rear motor would be easier for me to drive as well.
Yeah, no, I think having both options is the best part. Like, if you want to run a rear motor car, you can. If you want to run a mid motor, you can. Like, whatever you're more comfortable with is what you're going to run. It's not like there's not a defining like you have to do this or that. So, I think if you just leave it open like that, have fun.
I think the outdoor racing is meant to be fun. I think when it gets back, because the reason 10 scale went indoor was because of weather, right? And that was but I think if the ONS stays fun and it could get people enjoying themselves again and doing RC, and whether that comes from the nostalgia of vintage racing, gas truck racing, whatever, just enjoy it. Guys, my throat is drying right out. Mike Fuller says we need to get Wallie and the E-Buggy routes to the RC compound. Good luck to you guys this weekend.
I want to go there. It looks cool. After Wall's videos I was watching, I was like, I want to make it out to the next, like, whenever they do another race out there, like, I want to try it out. Maybe I'll put that on the race list.
JP speaks, we'll go back on the rear motor. It says, is the idea that the rear motor is more newbie friendly than the mid motor? No,
I'd say it's easier to set up.
Yes.
You can just kind of throw tires on it and just go.
If conditions meet it, like, I think the point was, like, when it's rough and wet and loamy, rear motor. When it starts grooving up, mid motor, and that from what I understood from Max was that the rear motor has a much wider setup base. Setup window, and that the mid motor has a much smaller, but it's faster. That was his argument. But neither of us, I could see that, but neither of us are the level of Rivkin or Mayfield. No, who just walked in?
Fifth scales are firing up right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there a good bit of fifth scales there? I
think there's a few of them. I haven't looked to the entry list as of late, but I think they're there. I think there's probably like 8 to 10 in each heat. So there's a few of them.
I don't know. I just want to have fun. I enjoy outdoor 10 scale though. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. So, all right. What did Mr. Rear motor makes traction and mid motor uses traction?
I agree.
We're gonna have to have Max on her to debate that. JW, he goes, Nick, any starting compound suggestions for good old boys next weekend?
Well, it's going to be hot, and I don't know what the water schedule is, but generally, if you're going on J Concepts, I would say you're going to want to go on a blue tire, like a blue compound tire, whether it's a Reflex or a Dirt Bite, or a Falcon. Any of those will be pretty solid. But maybe for the evening, depending on how the track is watered and how it holds water, you could probably go back to a green. But for the most part, I feel like you're going to want to be on a blue in any of those type of tires. Maybe if the track gets really grooved up, we'll go to a relapse. But I think any of the other three, the Reflex, the Dirt Bite, or the Falcon, will be plenty good in blue.
Okay. There you go. All right, we're going to pay some bills. I told Wiley I'm not going to keep him too long. I know he wants to go racing, and then we're going to open up for you guys questions. So get them ready, and a big shout out to these companies for making it all possible. And I like to play this because I think it's my funnest commercial.
Stop scrolling. You want to be Lewis Hamilton? Learn something new with invisible speed. You can't do everything at 100% maximum speed. You have to be smooth. I mean, when you drive a real car, if you drive a real car, how do you just, when you get to a 90-degree corner to turn into the parking lot, do you go like that with the steering wheel? Do you like slam on the throttle and the brake? No. You probably turn the wheel smooth and get on the throttle smooth. Same thing with an RC car. If you want to learn more and make your speed visible, stop scrolling.
Techno RC. Techno RC is a championship-winning manufacturer of high-performance A-scale, 10-scale, Nitro, and electric RC buggies and trucks. With a worldwide dealer network, USA and Europe-based headquarters, comprehensive warranty program, and global race support, Techno RC is excellence in RC. View the full lineup of Techno RC race-proven vehicles by visiting www.technorc.com.
Are you looking to take your ride-on car to the next level? ML Toys makes it easy with plug-and-play modifications like motors, speed and brake controls, and more. ML Toys is the one-stop shop to make your ride-on car the coolest car in the neighborhood.
All righty. Thank you to all of those companies for making this possible. We have links for them in the written description of this show. All right. So this is the rules. We got your questions going. We're going to go for another 50. Depends on the questions. If you guys ain't asking them, we're going to go. If you guys start super chatting, it'd be even better. But let's get some questions there. Mike Quaz says, with sponsors aside, what do you think the most consistent shock oil brand is? Definitely not a question for me because I have no idea.
It's really hard to say. I mean, I've used Avid, I've used Flashpoint, I've used Associated, I've used Losi. Realistically, I'd probably run any of those. I don't really have a favorite. But once you get on one of them, you just want to stick with that, because if I start with AE oil and then I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to switch over to Avid and go like from weights to CSTs, it doesn't line up. Like all these charts are all out and everything, but like the feel on the track never matches what they say a weight to a CST is. I've always noticed, like, if let's say like 35 weight is supposed to be 450, to get that same feel in the car, like I'll end up being like on 500 or 525. Like it's never really apples to apples. So I don't know. I feel like whatever you want to run, just take that and stick with it. And that's all you really need to do. As diff oils though, the one that I've seen that's actually like quite a bit better, and I don't know what the difference is and why, but when I pull my diffs apart and using like the actual Mugen branded diff oil, the diffs are still clear. Like it doesn't break down. It seems to like not break down. It doesn't get that murky, like black or like gray kind of color that everything else that I've used does. But the Mugen diff oil actually like stays pretty clear even after a lot of runtime. So if I would like, it's a little more expensive than most brands. It's like they only offer a small bottle, and it's about the same price as like the larger bottle with other brands, but it definitely is more consistent.
I think diff oils take the most punishment anyway. Shock oil is going to get dirty because they're going to get, if you get dirt in your shock boots and all that type of stuff, it's going to seep into there.
Yeah.
But yeah, diff oils go through so much abuse, right?
Yeah, and they're dealing with super high revs the whole time, and then go into a corner, and especially like if the track's high grip high grip, really, like you're really diffing out in most things. So, I mean, you're going to run thicker oil, but it's still going to be a lot of work on those diffs and on that oil.
Yeah, and you change your shock oils quite a lot at races. You do diff oils too, but probably more. RC Victor Lane, what will it take to get class turnouts even remotely close to 1990s and early 2000s? I don't know. That's too well. Okay, RC is probably the same price as it is now that it was back then, with inflation. I guarantee you that.
Scott, if you're watching, you could probably answer this. So you did the math before.
Even better.
I think it is more. I want to say, I can't remember what he said, but I think it is a little bit more than what it was back in the day.
It might be, and I think the amount of stuff we might use might be more. Like, okay, we have better quality cars and better quality product, right? That we probably don't break as much. But I think where we spend a lot of money now is tires, obviously, because we got to have the best tires. So, I don't know not the entry fees. The entry fees are fine. I think the entry fees have been $100 for a long time. I don't know. I don't think that in 1990s and 2000s there were more people at races, because some of these races we go to are huge, right? They're huge. And you have to understand that now there's so much things that people like and that they can do from their house.
We have a lot of options.
We have, oh, there we go. Mr. Scott Foyle. It's cheaper now, but disposable income is less for the average guy.
That was the answer.
So I don't, and also there are way more races now. Way more. That's probably one of the biggest reasons.
I mean, I go to a race almost every single weekend, and that's just in California.
And then everybody
for a big race. And then,
and everybody wants to be a big race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are way more races to choose from, which spreads it all out. And there's lots of factors. There's other things that take your time that are easier to do. Me and Jason from Racing Jason, who has a backyard, that backyard track?
Yeah.
He's like one of those guys. I don't want to be at the track all day. I want to be at the track 3 hours and going.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things, man. People want to be in and out. Like, they want to be going. I know us RC nerds, we love being there, but for the average person, look, we've all seen it. We see people come to the track. Let's say 5 people come to the track. 2 of those 5 people are not like, that's cool, I like it, and never look at it again. Maybe 3 of those 5 people, maybe 3 of those 5, there's whatever the numbers, right? Then 3 get into it, and then maybe out of those 3, 1 actually really gets into it, right? And so that's how it works, because RC is a lot of work, right? Racing RC is a lot of work.
Nitro is it's like racing a full-size car the whole time. You got to tear it down, rebuild it. You're wrenching way more than you would think. And then you got to get to the track, tuning it, you're mounting tires, you're adjusting things the whole time. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's rewarding when you get when you understand what you're doing and what the reward is. Like, it feels great when you make a main and you finish in a top 5 position or something like that, and like your weekend didn't go bad, like you didn't have something fall apart, you didn't break anything, you drove well, everything kind of just works out. Like, that's a solid accomplishment. And then if you win, it's like the icing on the cake. Like, it's just an awesome deal. So I feel like if more people were able to experience that, they'd stay in it a little bit longer and kind of like fight more. Like, they'll get that taste of it and then that. But like, if you're just the person that maybe you're kind of stuck at the moment and you don't know how to like really get past that, it's like, oh, I'm just getting burnt out. Like, I just go spend my whole day at the track. I'm in the C main and I just can't figure it out. I feel like that kind of situation kind of deters people a little bit.
Yeah, because it's hard.
But it is. It's hard. Without it being a physical activity, it is difficult. Like, it's mentally difficult.
I think that's what it is. People expect it to be easy because you're not physically doing anything. But you are, but you aren't.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. So one of my biggest, I think that's why you see carpet racing is popular, because one, it's more sustainable than dirt, and 2, people have instant traction, right? It's there, and you eliminate one of the hardest things in RC. And I've said this before, people think I'm crazy. Look, when somebody comes to the track and they want, if they can't even go around the track for a lap, because most people want to come to a track, what do they want to do? They want to go fast on the straightaway, and they want to jump a jump and land.
Yep.
If you can't do that, if you're out there, look, apologize, everybody. It is bad. My throat is dry. If you go out there and you can't even you're doing donuts and you can't even accelerate up to jump, you're gonna quit. Yeah. So for us, we're like, we love this shit. Yeah, but for the average person, he doesn't. So
yeah,
we have to.
And that's how I feel like going back to that rear motor versus mid motor thing. Mid motor cars are so technical the way they're set up. Like 2-wheel drive buggy is probably one of the hardest cars to set up. Like, well, to be competitive, you can go around the track with a 2-wheel drive buggy pretty easily, but like when you get down to it and you start racing it, there's people on it that run 10 scale religiously that are really fast. Like let's say Samuel Moran or Matty G, all those guys will hand it to me at 10 scale. You come out here with an 8 scale car and they're either behind me or we're like right there, like even. So it's like the 10 scale stuff, once you kind of have that, like you were really dialed at that, like it's really easy. But until you get to that point, like those cars just, you have to be so perfect with your setup to make those lap times and go fast and compete with all those people. So if you could do like outdoors where the tuning window is a little wider and you can make a rear motor car go around the track with pretty little setup work and make it easy and fun, I feel like that's more enticing to like a newcomer and someone that just wants to do it for fun and doesn't want to spend all their time wrenching and building their shocks 17 times a day and trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing. So if that kind of takes off a little bit more and more, I mean, we have a lot of outdoor 10 scale tracks kind of going because Speedlot's got one, Channel Islands has one, Hot Rod's there, Huckleberry's here. Like there's a lot of 10 scale size tracks. I think the outdoor stuff could honestly make a comeback and kind of be like that entry level into 10 scale and go racing.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that. Like I think we need to be hitting it on all aspects, right? As long as that person can get around that track and do the jumps the first time they're on there, then they'll be hooked. If they can't, then they're gonna be like, fuck that shit. It's and then I think there has to be some adjustment there has to be some reality tracks when you get into this stuff, right? You have to be realistic about your skills and your abilities. And I think what happens is a lot of people, in my experience, they don't travel out. They may not travel outside out of their region. And their region could be a few tracks. Their region could be a whole area, right? Like the Southeast. Or I meet a lot of people that which is fine. They just race in their local tracks and all that type of stuff. And then obviously they're split up between expert and pro and intermediate. This is where we get into this whole big debate about the classes and why this person runs pro at home but runs intermediate here. Because once you get out of your pond and your area, there's bigger fish and faster fish.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
It always has.
Right. And that's just it. It's just how it is, right? The people are faster and there's groups of fast people that race together, right? And when you race against people like that, you're going to get better. So you have to be realistic. Like I've been to races, too many people. I think I know why companies do it. I've been on both sides of the sponsor thing, but I think that people just get I've seen people get their first sponsor, be all excited, which is fine. I understand that you're excited to get there. And then they just burn themselves out trying to live up to expectations because they think that this is going to lead to something like, because I think the accessibility of RC, and let's be honest, all of us can have what Ryan Mayfield runs. He may have some parts and bits that we can't run, but we can pretty much get what he runs, right?
Yeah.
But we can't get Ryan Mayfield's skills to do it. And I think that is the big, or I've heard people say this person has all the time to practice. Do you think Ryan Mayfield is practicing every day out there? No, he has 2 kids.
Yeah.
He has 2 kids.
Life.
He's not practicing. No, fellas, he's a professional RC car driver, and that's what he was meant to do in life. And that's his gift and his talent. Now, I think that some of the damage of sponsor culture in RC, and I know, is create this dream that you can eventually be a pro driver, right? Or if you do this a little bit, look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're 26 years old and you have a kid, you're not going to be a pro driver. Like there are not there's so much misconceptions about this industry.
Yeah.
Like these guys are making millions, and this is happening here, and these people are moving hundreds of thousands of units every no. So yeah, I think that if we can just keep a little, yeah, I don't know, like a real, it's been picking up my brain for the last few years because I see it a lot. I like
do have
sponsoring.
like some, like as far as that sponsorship talk, I feel like even the top RC people, like we're like a level below like a Supercross level. So like you have your factory guys that are in Supercross, and those guys get paid to race, and that's how that's their salary. They're making good money. The sport brings in good money, so they can be paid the money. But then you have your privateer guys that are doing everything they can to make a salary and while doing something they love. So like Justin Starling with the Moto Whips deal, or like Kevin Moran's, those guys actually make pretty decent money, but they're working 10 times harder to do it. So those guys have their YouTube channel. They're constantly doing vlogs. They're promoting their sponsors as much as they can. And in return, they're getting paychecks from the sponsors as a marketing. They're like a marketing tool. They're not sponsored. I mean, they're getting results for the most part, but they're not top fives. They're not those big guys that are getting paid to actually be there to race. Those guys are there to they're there to compete, but they're like a good night for them is like, if I can make top 10, I've killed it. But they go on their YouTube channel, they vlog the whole day that they were there, and they're basically marketing tools for all of their sponsors. I feel like RC, even if you're a top guy, because I've seen, I don't know if it was maybe your podcast, but you were talking about like, does RC have enough money to actually pay factory drivers? And is the salary thing realistic for these companies at this point? I feel like the top RC guys need to treat it like they're the privateers in Supercross. They need to be a full marketing tool, and then go out and get their own checks. Because like, you can negotiate contracts if you have data showing like, hey, look, I started posting, I have my discount code, and this discount code created this amount of sales for your company. I would like X amount of dollars for that. And then you can kind of like build salaries doing that kind of way, like being smart with how you market yourself and the following that you gain. Like you can build it like that, and then you don't have to really rely on or like an average person, like let's say for me, for instance, can start making more money racing and doing all the events and being here at all these things, and not have that factory salary, and I don't have to worry about like, let's say like Hong Nor paying me a salary. I can kind of go after it and go get it in different pieces. And I feel like that's more realistic, because then you can actually start to build, like if you start building your name, and let's say like your YouTube channel starts growing and growing and growing, and now you're reaching people that aren't just RC, but they like the content, and now people that aren't in RC are watching your stuff, and now your page is just growing exponentially. That becomes valuable to sponsors. And then you can go to like, let's say like Monster or like any of those big places, like, hey, look, this is what I've done. This is what I can do. This is the revenue that I've generated for these companies. What can we do? And then you can kind of go after bigger things like that. And I feel like if you treat it like that, you work 2 to 3 hard years in that, and you'll build everything you ever wanted, and you get to race RC cars. Like it's just about putting in the time and marketing yourself as best as you can, to me.
So I get that idea, and I understand all the concepts of that. I definitely think that all of these drivers need to be doing more social media. I get some of them, like the Mayfields. They've earned, like, I don't expect it from Mayfield. Yes, I'll say this: when you want to talk to Mayfield, unless he's thrashing, he's good to talk to. Things are changing. My question to that theory would be that the motocross industry is way bigger than RC, so they can generate enough income that way. So
the privateer guys is what I'm talking about. That's
right, but
they're on a different level.
Right. Okay. So they're at a level that Okay, I'm trying to think because look, I've come to this standpoint in this, right? So the industry can only give so much money to everybody, right? So all of these companies that sponsor the podcast, J Concepts, and because I had to talk with Kevin yesterday about the money that they allot to go out to companies, right? And that's getting harder and harder to get. So now, our goal is like, okay, well, we need to make more content, right? And we are a hardcore racing show. We are, and if you look at the most hardcore racing channel we have with an individual, I would say it's Ryan South Harris.
Yep.
Right? He has his content is 99% racing on what he does, and he does great. He's amazing at what he does great editing, filming, and all that type of stuff. I think we need to start doing that now to help grow RC. Does that make sense? Because I don't think we have enough racers to support that. And I'll give you an example. I've had an affiliate link for a lot of these companies for years. I have not made much money off them. Now, I know that guys like MSN, Kevin Talbot, or the bashing guys who have, 150,000 subs. Kevin Talbot has 3.5 million subs.
Mm-hmm.
That's feasible, right? I know those guys are raking in some good money from affiliate links, right? Because the racer is looking for the deal, man. That's what I've learned. I have literally had people message me, I tried to use that link that you sent me or that you have on your written description, but there's no discount. I'm like, yeah, there's no discount, but I got a little kickback. Oh, and that is the issue, right?
Yeah.
That comes from sponsor culture, right? Everybody is looking for a deal. How many people out there will not pay $5 to Live RC? Right? Monthly.
Probably a few.
I have paid $5 to Live RC for over almost 20 years now. Right? Because I like the fact that I can go look at the videos right there when they have them and all that type of stuff. And okay, Live RC may not be as active as they once were, but they bring us coverage, right?
Yeah.
At big races that we like. And it's just, I don't think that we don't have the population of racers to support that right now, because I'm sure we are a content creator that works in RC. I am a content creator. I am very sorry, guys. My throat is very dry. I am a content creator as well. We're almost on 10,000 subs. We've been doing this for 8 years. Okay, YouTube not as long. So if I feel like if we were doing this show in motocross, it would be easy to make a living at this, right? Because it's just so much more people like Steve Madden, like Pope MX and Whiskey Throttle. Those guys all have big followings. And you look at Ryan Styles
with that though, is I think obviously there's different situations here with your group that's following, but if you can start to reach, I don't know, I mean, maybe the content like a driver would produce is going to be a little bit different than what you're producing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can and I feel like people like to relate to people. Like if you let's say you follow a TV show and you get hooked into it, but like you start watching this one character like it's somebody and then the show kills them off, and then you're like, oh, I'm kind of like over it now. I don't really care. So like if you could build your channel and people can relate to you and enjoy like, hey, like I know this person and I want to continue to watch what he's doing, I feel like that will grow, and that aspect could grow outside of RC and reach people that aren't into RC. People just watch it because it's something they enjoy watching. So I feel if that's something you could reach, one, it could help grow the RC sport and the racing side of things, but also we could have little who would I would say like supercar like Kevin Moran's. People follow him. He made it onto some kind of TV, like a reality TV show from his stuff. Like he's growing, like this is what I do every day. And it took him to another level past the supercross level. So if RC can get a piece of that and then kind of grow that way, I think that's a possibility. Just building a T line or a YouTube channel that gives you the insides of like what I do to my during day. Like if it's interesting, obviously I have to be interesting enough for people to watch, and kind of have like let's say like a Bubba's World type of deal. If you could build that on YouTube, I think that would be something that could grow past the RC and like get more people into it.
I agree with you, but when you start, you have to depend on the RC guys.
And, for sure.
And you have to kind of grow those things out. And I just look at statistics. My thinking is we need to tap into the bashing market, like kind of like MSN has done. But I don't think there's any wrong way. I think we should be doing what you're saying, what you're saying anyway. But it's difficult, man. It's getting more and more difficult to make money in this industry, like anything else. I'm sure, like the world's going. So the social media is key, but we gotta go. Like, I'm like, I constantly post shorts saying one day I have had some viral shorts, but you post those shorts because that's get people's attraction, and you get them to the longer stuff. But yeah, I like that idea. I think we need to be doing that anyway. And there is a switch, and these guys have to be interesting, right? They have to be interested. And I think the jet setting of motocross and going to these big motocross races and racing against people, everybody knows that around the world, pretty much. Not so much about RC. Let's go through some of these questions. First, I wanted to say that thank you, Pete, for $19.99. We greatly appreciate it. Scotty Foy, yes, but they're teaching people that do not even own motocross bikes or gear. They want to watch Tomac and see what he says he has to say versus industry guys. I guess he's replying to what I said.
Yeah, Scott is who I work. Like, he's the guy that I work out of the shop. Like, we work in the same shop together. It's his saddle shop that I have a section of, and he has like all the Supercross podcasts going all the time. He's watching all kinds of stuff and just taking in, like, he's watching, like, because he's into Supercross, he watches it. So he's like looking at all the behind the scenes, like what's going on in the industry, who's making what switch, where's Sexton going, what's going on with Kawasaki. He's super drawn to that. So, and he doesn't ride, he doesn't have a bike or anything like that. He just loves watching it. So he's that guy that we would need, that equivalent to RC. Someone that just loves, maybe, hopefully he does get into RC. Getting into RC is a lot easier than getting into a dirt bike. Because let's face it, like dirt bikes, one, it's going to be expensive investment. Two, if you don't really want to get hurt, probably shouldn't ride a dirt bike because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so, but RC, you could go to the track with your Arma, go have some fun. So it's a lot easier to get into. But that type of concept was what will help, I feel like, RC grow. And that's what like the racers can kind of do to grow the RC, the racing side. If they start making it look like, hey, like, go to the track with me. We're loading up the van, headed out to TNR this weekend, and then you do like some shots of like the driving. You do a little like what we're gonna do this weekend, what our plans are, and if you have like two people, then you can kind of like bounce like conversation off. I think that's something that you could watch and get into, and then obviously the second part of that is being consistent and keeping up with that. Because if you have something that's good, the only way to keep it rolling is to keep that like level rolling, and it's a lot of work, especially if you are a racer. So it is hard. It is going to be something that would be pretty difficult to maintain, but if you can do it, I mean, I think the success and the funding is there to make it happen and make it worth it.
So you brought up a good point about Scott being a motocross fan, a spectator. Unfortunately, we don't have that in RC, do we? We have everybody as a participant in RC, and the participants are watching RC. Even there is obviously I do this quite a lot, and there is an odd person that comes in once in a while and discovers RC and does that type of stuff, and it gets invested in it. So, and it's a lot, right? We can, if we really peel back the layers of the onion, then we find out, okay, Then we need to start making RC more spectator friendly. Then we can have 1 week races. Then we got, then it comes, you have a change format. We have to do a lot of changes, which is going to piss off the regular RC people to make it better. And while I definitely think I think we should be doing just the content period, because I don't think there's enough content out there showing racing. There's a lot of RC content. I would love for more pros to do stuff, or semi-pros and stuff like that. But I think we're just getting these guys to give decent interviews now, right? We're just getting these guys to give decent interviews. We're just getting these guys to free up. I think we're still a few years away from that, because
for sure. And it comes down to the personalities that we have. Like, a lot of them are quiet, and they don't really know how to be on a camera. And like,
I know,
I'll say, like, I was nervous when I started doing YouTube videos. I've only done 2. I got more that I have ideas and all that stuff to do it. But between the last couple weeks of just being gone and having builds come in and out, I just haven't had a second to do it. But yeah, I think there's a bet, like, if I would say Aiden is probably one of the best that could probably make a good channel of him if he took it like 5% more seriously, and like did a full vlog of like, and then kept doing them consistently, like weekly or at least at every event that he does. I think that he's like a character that could actually take on that like role that Kevin Moran's did, where people enjoy watching the content regardless if it's an RC person or not, because they just find him funny and they're like, oh, I just like watching the updates and I don't really care about the RC racing, but I like watching what he does. Mm-hmm. So like, if there's one person right now, it's that guy. That guy for sure could really kind of do that situation, I think.
I agree.
And that just opens the door. That just opens the doors for more things outside of even the YouTube and all that stuff. If you find the right person to see it, that's pretty much how my whole career has gone.
Hey, RC racing is a reel away from going viral. Like, that's what it is. It's I look at the comp. So
it's teetering.
Yeah, like my most viral video on Instagram is 29 million. It's a short course truck. And believe it or not, there's another one going on Instagram. It's about almost 6 million now. It's at the same track a year later, but not a short course truck. And the comments in there, like, it's mostly people didn't even know this existed, right? They think it's a race. It's actually practice. It's or qualifying. I think I filmed. And like, he's beating everybody. Well, they don't understand that he's qualifying. That's something else that we have to fix, right?
Correct.
But why? It was a short course truck. It was relatable. People saw what it was. Now, the second one is actually 8-scale buggy, which I'm shocked. Oh, and my second biggest one is Fend going around in an 8-scale buggy. It's 26 million. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what's going to happen. Like, but yes, I agree. We should be all doing. I would love to see more of these guys doing content. Aiden was doing good, but I think then Associated has him doing. He has to do them for Associated now, so he doesn't build his personal brand. Well, we should be. Correct. We should be, and we need that, right? We need that. Both, though. It's a lot of work.
Associated could benefit from Aiden being Aiden, like in his videos. If Aiden did videos for himself, and then represents AE in those videos, AE is going to get more value out of that, because now Aiden doesn't have to do something. I mean, I know the videos out there all are very helpful, and like how to build a diff and how to build shocks, what I do with tires. But if you're doing more like lifestyle videos that are like interesting, and people want to see this kind of content, and they want to like watch it more, AE is going to indirectly benefit from that, because now their representative is representing their brand. Like, hey, you know what? I like Aiden. He's really cool. He does really cool stuff. He's out here racing, and his cars look good, and he looks like he's a fun person to hang out with in the pits. You know what? I'm going to go buy an AE car. I'm going to go buy this. I feel like that's more valuable at this point, because that's what people just want to be able to relate to, that person that they're watching. And I feel like that is more valuable than we still need them. We still need the how-to videos, but also have that kind of lifestyle, be more personable on your camera kind of video.
Yeah, I wouldn't dispute that. I wouldn't dispute that. Charlie Mack brings up a point. He goes, is there no one out there marketing RC to outside brands / vendors? I spent 3 years trying to land Mike's Hard Lemonade, got close, but they ultimately said no. Celsius is my new target. We're just not big enough.
It's not big enough. I've tried. I mean, I have multiple contacts at Monster, and they don't see the value. There's not enough. Like, why am I going to invest in a couple thousand people at an event when I can go to Supercross and reach millions?
It's not even a couple thousand. It's not even like, well, right. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you do like the streaming and like if you have an event, like you have a couple hundred people. I think there's 100, like a little over 100 actual people here racing.
Mm-hmm.
But the coverage, if it's good, will probably reach another 700 to 800, maybe 1,000. So they look at that and they're like, well, most of those people are probably going to watch Supercross, so we already got them. It's like the whole thing with this deal is you're trying to market, like they want big things that people already watch. They don't want to grow something. You're a market, when you go to those people, like you're a marketing tool. So if you gotta dig a hole and you have a really nice shovel that's solid and strong that you're gonna be able to job done with really quickly, or you have the kind of smaller shovel, it's a little harder to use, it's hard to that, you're gonna pick this better shovel to dig your hole. Right now we're the small shovel. We don't really have the following to attract a sponsor of this big. So if we can find something smaller, or maybe something that's more specific to more specific to RC, that Justin Watson brought this up the other night, and I think it's a pretty good idea. He's like, you know what? Maybe something as big as Monster or Rockstar or anything like that's gonna be too big. They're not gonna be looking at that. But if you can find something that an RC person will use, and he's like, you know what? Like lens crafters, like maybe they're more interested because they can use actual racers improving their like driving with adding glasses. They could use that as a marketing tool. Like, hey, like if you're racing RC cars, or if you're doing something that requires you to see a distance and your eyes are getting a little weaker, but you want to continue doing it, like that's something they could use and market. So it's probably not going to happen, but I feel like that's a more viable idea to like be able to tie everything together. Monster, like, unless you have millions of followers, they're not really, or like hundreds of thousands of followers, they're not really interested.
I would agree. And I remember RCGP, they tried to get JCB, like the excavating machines,
mm-hmm.
JCB, and join there. And thinking outside the box, I mean, probably use both of those things to build RC tracks. And it's just not enough. It isn't. It's just simple as that. And even we go to these races and we're like, it's 1,000 entries. Come on, people. Yes, it's 1,000 entries, but we know it's like 350 people there, which is fine. I like that and I enjoy that. But realistically, we're just not big enough for those companies to even matter. Now, what it might take is somebody like a popular person getting into it and doing it on a level like that, and maybe vlogging that, because actually BMX brought up a good point about yesterday. He says expensive lifestyle stuff and beautiful women get views. I agree. Unfortunately, there's none of that in RC. But the cool thing about RC is, right, that I figured out the other day, that RC, a guy was telling me the other day that a guy down at Thornhill drives his RC car with his mouth, right? He's in a wheelchair and he could just use his mouth. RC, I was thinking about this the other day. RC is the only legitimate racing that I can think of in the world. And when I mean racing, like where you are fully in control of this vehicle, that it doesn't matter if you're male, female. I've seen people with, I mean, obviously I have one working good arm. I have to make exceptions. I've seen people with one arm racing. We've seen Zeke Bellinger is another good example. He was racing this past weekend at Ireland. He races, he wrenches, he doesn't have arms from here on down. I did an interview with him on audio early. So I think RC is truly the only thing that people can do in a competitive stance where everybody is equal.
Yeah.
And even you remember Corbin Showers? He could only just about move his arm, and his joystick used to move like that, and he was able to race. I think we need to kind of think of like those lines of RC. Everybody can do it, all that good type of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is the age-old question. How do we get one of these big names into RC? Well, we have to have, I always say this, or why haven't we got RC on ESPN? And it just comes down to the simple fact is we don't have a product to do it. We don't, and if we did do that product, I think I think people are scared of the participation side going away, or because we talk about this when we leave races, right? And I'm like, well, because we can't afford to have more people to do it, so that means we have to take less time given back to the people that actually make this happen, which is the racers, the average racer, to go focus on the pros. And that's just one of the sacrifices that has to happen. We have to understand that we need to put the pros, in that sense, that's why we have pro guys, that side forward. But that's a whole discussion for a whole nother day that I've been
I have that whole situation kind of in my head too, but I think they're like going back onto the Supercross thing, because it's almost like we're like a level behind them, but they still, like, being inside of it with motor whips and like seeing how everything functions, they're in the same struggle as us, but they're on a higher level of the struggle. So we're basically battling the same things. But what I think would be something that could get our RC kind of in that direction, more in that direction, is dividing pro classes to amateur classes. Intermediate and down, you have your own events. Pros have their own race series, and that is short. One, it'll shorten the program. It'll, in theory, it would kind of give more of a spectator audience, because now you're not racing, you're just watching. But I mean, obviously this is like all an idea, but I think if there was just like where we showcase the pros and we focus on an event that is, one, easier to like watch and follow. So like maybe like leader lights come into play at some point. We have a camera crew that's dedicated to just making it look like it's a real deal. And obviously it's money, and it's a lot of stuff that would take into this thing. But if you can kind of build it to where there's a division between pro and amateur, then it kind of makes it like it's something more marketable rather than just a hobby that everyone can do.
I agree.
Which is not wrong. Not wrong. But if it was like, let's say this TNR race was pros only, and all of us here, and then you could even do races in a day. Maybe it's a practice day.
Yeah, you could do it on the same day.
And then you do I had it before. This is another conversation Scott and I talked about, is doing like a 2-day event where all the pros race on Saturday, and then all your amateurs race on Sunday. So the amateurs can watch the pro races, make it like we can kind of build like a spectator base and kind of build that, and then they get to go on the track afterwards and go race it. Kind of like what they do for Daytona Supercross. The pros race Saturday night, and then they have the RCMX amateur race the next day. That way, and then if you have like the pros that want to stay over and kind of help the amateurs out, then it kind of gives, they're not busy trying to get their stuff ready. They have more time to like help out. It's up to them. Like, we'll see who would want to do it, but I think that's kind of brings in a little bit more of an aspect of like, you get to watch the racing of the pros, and then afterwards, some of the pros could hang out, help the amateurs, and then that looks better for like the companies they represent, I think, as well.
You know what? Great minds think alike, because that has been discussed, right? You can do it in one race, but it's going to have to be separate days. And I think that it would be great, right? And we'll see. I can't say nothing, but I think there might be something coming along. Time will tell.
I hope so. That'd be kind of cool.
Time will tell. But you know what? The manufacturers also have to commit to that.
Right.
They have to commit, and they all have to commit, and they have to support it. And the racers, yes, the racers have to understand as well that the amateur racers have to understand that it can't. I know you want to go back and watch your race, or your family wants to watch your race that started at 6 a.m., right? But we can't have a moving camera for 6 a.m. because we did this the last night. You know, it's something has to give.
Yeah.
But right now, to be honest, a lot of way these streams are crowdfunded through the people that are watching and at home watching. So yeah, it's a conundrum. We can always shout out, we want to do this and we want to do that. But either one thing has to happen, more money has to come so more people can do it, or some other part of some other program doesn't get the full spectrum of coverage that they get. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Truggener said something similar. He says, did Wally read my manifesto? All right, so we had a few. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, Wally.
Yeah, I mean, if we ever like made that transition, I think it would be one of the things would be the funding would be kind of something that will work in the end, but there will be a really like rough patch trying to make that work in the middle. Because like you said, like the crowdfunding and everything is kind of where we're at now. Like these races are funded by entry fees. Exactly. They're not funded by big sponsors. So in order for these races to continue, they need entry fees to get all the things that we have, like get this venue that we have here at the TNR race. But if we can, and this all goes like it just kind of, it's like one giant tree that stems. To me, it starts at like the pro racers. If they can build like personable YouTube channels and be like influencers and like stars that people want to watch, that'll allow for more companies to come in and be like, hey, like you have a pretty good following and it's growing and that kind of stuff. Hey, we'll give you a little bit of a deal. And then now you got the interest of that brand. And then when you get those types of brands, hey, we're going to go to this event. Would you want to sponsor this event? And then it kind of just starts, I feel like at the driver's level, more so than the promoters level. And the drivers could make it interesting enough for people to want to watch. And then they could stem to the races. And then when you start getting sponsors to get the races like covered, then it doesn't matter. You could have capped races where you have like, yeah, we got a top 30 pros in the US at this event. It doesn't matter how many entry fees. The entry fee doesn't have to be crazy because you don't have to worry about that. The race is already covered as far as expenses. Now you can really like, hey, we can have a pro day race and they're going to race Nitro Buggy and E-Buggy only. And we're going to pay them out X amount of dollars. Like, I feel like if we get to that point and we don't have to really rely on entries to make these events happen, it'll start to really grow the things that we need. And then we can really break down pro day versus amateur day and really kind of, I think that's kind of the direction it needs to go in order to get like it more mainstream and people actually seeing it. And like I said, like there's not a lot of people that want to sit and watch a race from 8 a.m. to midnight and then watch the pros for 45 minutes.
I agree with you. I actually think the world should be split up to amateur and professional.
Yeah,
I think it should be. And then you could have an amateur world champion and then a professional world champion.
I don't think you go that far.
I
mean, if you're an amateur world champion, you still have X amount of people.
Well, I don't know. But I definitely think it should be split up.
But
you know who the fast guys are?
If you're an amateur, like say like you're an intermediate kid that's racing on intermediate day, and then like next year, like, you know what, I'm gonna run on pro day, and then you kind of sign up for pro day. Like it gives you something to like work toward, I feel like.
Well, we do have that. We do have it, but not to that extent. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good ideas.
The goal would be to race pro day. Like that would be the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pro day. I get the live coverage. I get this and all that. Amateur day could have like a basic camera, let's say. Like it's still live coverage, but it's like a club race live coverage. Like it's just the camera's on and it is what it is. You get like the naming and everything like that. Like what they do for like amateur day and Supercross when they used to do that back in the day with like the Supercross Next or something like that.
I get you.
But then if you make it onto Pro Day, now you get like actual coverage. Like you get interviews with the podium racers and like all that kind of stuff. It just kind of, the coverage gets better when you get onto Pro Day type of thing.
Yeah, I trust me. We have driven many hours and talked about this stuff because this is what we do, and it's just a difficult situation. And you know what? The race promoters have no reason to do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be something that starts from the manufacturers and somebody that really wants to push for it, because the race promoters, they have their product and they don't have to deviate from that for now. They're there to look. They're there to make their money, put on a race, make their money, and go on to the next one or whenever they have it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. I know I said 90 minutes, Wally, but we got on a very good topic, by the way.
Yeah.
So I want to go back. Dirt Concepts West says, I think a show like Hard Knocks except racing would be freaking cool. I do too. There have been similar things. We go back to Corey Drakenberg's work with 5150. RCGP's Driven, these type of things. Unfortunately, I wish they would catch on, and how can we get this on Netflix? I don't know. But Corey brings up a question here. He says, and RC is worldwide compared to other hobbies in sport. I think other hobbies and sports are worldwide everywhere.
I think our biggest thing that we kind of lose to is video games.
Yeah.
I think that's the big one that takes a lot of people, because it is, to a point, it is cheaper. Like maybe the entry cost and getting into something like that is pretty expensive. But once you're there, depending on what level you're going to, if you're doing the full sim thing where you have like the moving car and all that stuff, that's pretty expensive. But for like the COD and the Call of Duty stuff, I feel like people are super into that. Like that's a really mainstream hobby that pretty much everybody can do from the comfort of their couch. So I feel like that's something that really, if we could figure out how to get those people interested in RC and get them kind of like moving to this way, that would be a pretty big chunk of people. But compared to, I'm going to go home from work, I'm going to couch and play video games, it's a lot less involved. And then you can just stop and you can go eat or do whatever you want if you want to. But here you're pretty much committed. Your weekend's pretty much Friday through Sunday. So I can see why it'll be hard, but if we can get those people, I think that'd be kind of a big help. And there's
we need
no
them all.
button,
I don't understand this. Think about where BMX David says, think about when Traxxas sponsored full-scale short course trucks because they had money. Mm-hmm. Because they have the money. They don't do sponsor anything in RC, but they've also been responsible for some of the biggest booms in RC racing.
Yeah.
So
Traxxas is on another level, but I mean that just shows the bashing side versus the racing side. Everyone knows about RC cars and they can go full speed down the street and I had a Traxxas Slash and I hit a curb and it broke and now it just sits on my shelf. Mm-hmm. So I feel like no one really gets past the initial ready to run and kind of bashing thing, and a very small percentage does, and then they get interested in it. But if that percentage from the street driving Traxxas truck could get into racing, I think that would also help grow a lot too. But it's just
Traxxas would be nice to put some money back into RC racing, but they don't need to, right? Just like the race promoters don't need to change their winning format that they have. Mm-hmm. It's going to take that type of change to come from a group of individuals and manufacturers pushing for it. That's how it's going to have to happen.
I'm going to try and put on a Triple Crown next year in 2027, kind of like what I did with my race in 2024,
mm-hmm.
but do that race 3 times at 3 different tracks. So it'll be like a March, April round, a June, July round, and then an October, November round. And each race will be its own thing, but there will be a Triple Crown points that's kind of hidden in the background. There'll be an overall champion. And the idea is buggies only. It'll be 40 plus sportsman and open. The entry fee will include Nitro, Buggy, and Electric, and your total points between your two classes for each round is going to give you your overall. So you're not going to have a Nitro Buggy winner and an E-Buggy winner for the week for the race, individual race. You'll have Nitro, Buggy, E-Buggy combined. So your score in Nitro and your score in E-Buggy give you your intermediate buggy champion, your open buggy, or your sportsman buggy champion, and your open buggy champion. So there'll be.
I've been to like Masters of Dirt is like that, and then Beast of the East, they're both 10. Well, Beast of the East is 10 scale and 8 scale. So, and you have to participate in 3 classes. You can like I think at Masters of Dirt you can, but it's weighted like 2-wheel drives rated the highest, 4-wheel drive second, stadium truck, short course truck.
Yeah.
All right. Garco's RC. I still think that 15-minute Nitro Triple A mains will be better for on-track battles and for the audience watching. You know, I do
100%.
agree with you too. So I keep coming back to RCGP because I know a lot of our people in the chat don't know this, but so at RCGP every weekend you had 2 pro races, 2 separate races. You had the Saturday where they qualified and they had 2 15-minute races, which were exciting. And then on the Sunday, they requalified, and then they had a 45-minute race, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I think for to attract the average public person, 15 minutes is great for Nitro racing because you get a pit stop in it, which is exciting. And then you're going to get at least 3 pit stops if you do 3. And I think 3 15-minute finals, there's room for both, but I definitely think to show the world, we need to quick.
And then it also makes it so that people aren't like you said before, where they run away. Like you have the first 25 minutes and it's a battle, and then see that someone flames out or falls behind, and then the last 30, like 15, depending on how long, a 45-minute race, if the last 20 minutes of it are just the guys going around the track because the guy's got a half a track lead and extending, well, now it's boring. But now you re-rack them 15 minutes, and then now everyone has another shot, and you count them both. Then I think that keeps the racing more interesting, and then it doesn't get boring. That's the plan for these races. It'll be a 10-minute practice session. It's going to be like a seeding qualifying. All the classes will be capped at 30. So heat 1, heat 2. So from your top 5 average seeding, you'll be sorted 1 to 30, and then odds will go into heat 1, and then evens will go into heat 2, and then the top 7 or so will advance, and it'll be a 16-car LCQ, and then double 15-minute mains for the finals, and then 10-minute mains for E-Buggy. So that's kind of the idea that we've had. That's what we did before. We're going to kind of fix things a little bit, kind of clean it up, and I think it'll be pretty cool. And it keeps the day pretty short. I mean, with the math and giving a little bit extra time, I think we started at 9 and finished at 7. So if everything goes to plan, it could be pretty solid.
All right. GT Fakey 4907. Do you think having different scale cars affects people getting into it? Like you can only run 10th at one track, then 8th at another track. Go ahead, Wally. You give your thoughts on that, and then I'll do mine.
It probably has a little bit to do with it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because most people are going to get in. Like when they're getting into it, they're going to go to the track and see what they're running, and they're just going to get, if they're interested, going to get what that track runs. So if it's an 8 scale track, they're probably going to go with an 8 scale. If it's a 10 scale track, they're going to go with a 10 scale. Like I worked at OCRC when it was open, and that track ran E-Buggy, and so you could really kind of go anywhere you wanted. But if it is 10 scale specific or 8 scale specific, the person that sees it for the first time isn't gonna know any better, and they're just gonna grab whatever everyone else is running. So I don't think it's too much of a deal. I just don't think it's too much of a hinder in it.
I think if somebody shows up with a car like I think there should be like a novice class where you can run pretty much anything, because somebody might, obviously if you show up to OCRC with a a 1/6 scale or X Max, it's going to be hard. You know what I mean? Like, what's this? One of those things, it's going to be very hard to run. I think that tracks are that way specifically because sometimes maybe they don't have the space to run 8 scale, or maybe 8 scales beat up the track more than anything else, like on carpet and all that type of stuff. So you have to have some stipulations. But I think if somebody shows up at a dirt track and they have that, what they have is an 8 scale car, and you have a novice class, you got to kind of let them race, I think, so they can then they can decide, oh, do I like this? Oh, I need to get one of those because that's where everybody's racing. So that was kind of what I thought the Losi Pro Moto would do. Yeah. I thought the Losi Pro Moto, like all the motocross racers out there, would get it, take it to the local track and say, oh no, I need something that really works on this track, not the buggy. I mean, not the bike.
Yeah.
Del Boy, when does the world start? I think September. I don't know. End of September.
Sure. I know it's September.
Yeah, it starts. So the world's practice would start on Sunday, and then it will go from Sunday, and then it will finish up on Saturday, and then it's the end at last weekend going into last weekend of September going into October. Scotty Foy, I think these race promoters need incentives for broadcasting. You need the broadcaster offer coverage for free, generate a revenue from ads, with only stipulations being you run the pro format discussed. So I'm going to let you know something because I actually work in this business. Mm-hmm. Most race promoters do not pay for coverage. Number one. So, and race promoters that have their races already don't need coverage because they got their races already. So how Elite pays for coverage is through e-ticket competitions, just like Mod does. And I don't know how much revenue you think ads generate, but it's not that much. Trust me, not enough to support driving 2 vehicles plus a trailer I'm just telling you what we take. So when Elite goes to Wicked Weekend at the end of July, you are driving 2 vehicles, one pulling a camper, one pulling a broadcast trailer. You then have a dedicated cameraman. You have people to relieve that cameraman. You have Danny Paz, who is doing 3 people's to 4 people's job as one person. He's taking pictures, he's editing, he's filming, he's running cameras, he's producing. Because like with us, Lance is the RD, and then Patrick is there to fill in. This is when we go to big races. Patrick is there to fill in for Lance. We have Gene Strout Jr. running the camera. Then we have like people like Josie coming up to help and do that type of stuff. So trust me when I tell you, there ain't much money in that shit. It's passion, just like anything else. It is passion, and it is all crowdfunded through e-ticket competitions. And ads will not pay for that shit. I can tell you that. So you put all that together, food for people for the entire week, all that stuff together, and you'll see how expensive it is. I mean, people think that you just go set up a camera and that's it. Well, you come talk for 18 hours a day. You come run a camera for 16 hours a day. You do what Danny Paz does. You can't. You can't. Just like Joe Zaire with Mod. What they do, what these companies do that bring you coverage, RC Racing TV, the minimum amount of people. The minimum amount, because that's all that they can make. That's the only way they can make some money off it. Mm-hmm. So I think you guys don't realize, if you went back, we didn't have, now like coverage is normal. But 5 years ago, 6 years ago, not all these races had coverage. So
they had like their one camera that they'd have like something super simple, like you did barely anything. Now we have like moving cameras, commentators.
Yeah. Replays.
There's a lot.
All that type of stuff.
Yeah, replays.
All done on shoestring budgets with people making peanuts and spending countless days on the road away from their family. because they love RC. How do I know this? Because I've done it for the last 4 years. And it ain't getting better. That's all I can say. So that's how it goes. We need to have Nitro Truggy to be showcased. Why? It is the smallest class in 8 scale racing.
That was when I went and did my first race. The reason I'm only doing buggies for my race is because when I did do E-Truggy and Nitro Truggy, across all three, like I only did it for Sportsman and Open, and I probably, between Nitro and E-Truggy, I probably got maybe 15 to 20 entries. So one, it created a shit ton of marshaling problems because the dirt is a massive track. When you only have 6 people to marshal it, you're not going to even close because it takes like 15 or 12 to 13 people going at the dirt. So unless Truggy's really like grows, it's just hard to see like it being.
It's no difference.
Yeah.
The average person isn't going to know the difference between a Truggy and a buggy.
Right.
They look.
And I think if we're trying to strip this thing down and make it presentable to like something that can be showcased on, like, let's say like a Netflix or a YouTube. Let's say something magical happens and we have like Nitro and E-Buggy showed on Mr. Beast or something like that, like his channel. Like, just we worked a deal with him. He's broadcasting the coverage. It's on his page. Like, if we just showcase Buggy and E-Buggy and that's it, like these are the Nitro ones and these are the electric ones for the pro class, then they won't know. Like, people that are watching aren't even going to know the difference between Nitro and electric buggy. There's cars on the track. Cool. And they'll probably watch for a few minutes and then probably go somewhere else. So the Truggy thing it's fun when the class is big enough. Like, you go to the dirt and you go to the DNC or Silver State. It's still a small class, but at least there's enough entries to make it worth it. Like, for a smaller race, like what I plan on having, like it just doesn't really, it just doesn't work because it's just going to cause more problems. So, and it makes the day longer
and E-Truggy is just, I had this, as much as I love Nitro, I have no wish to drive Nitro Truggy. I like Nitro Truggy and I like Truggy and all that type of stuff. But if I was going to do another class, like if we was going to open up another class in RC racing, I would want it to be something like 1/8 scale short course truck.
Oh, I'm 100%. If that,
because I would say relatable.
That would be that would be relatable. I think that would actually be something that could almost have its own little race series kind of thing going.
And the bodies are big enough, right? Mm-hmm. You can get big decals on them, right? Because they got to be visible, right?
Yeah.
You'll be able to see those colors of that truck and that truck. And you'll be able to, and obviously you won't be able to see them, but when you got a close up on that thing, you see a big, I don't know, NNRC across the side of it. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's the NNRC truck. And you can see.
I think fifth scale would be another thing that could kind of do that same deal.
Mm-hmm. Not the buggies, the trucks.
No, definitely the trucks. I think a short course truck, a fifth scale, like the new 3.0,
mm-hmm.
that thing I feel is bigger than the old ones, right?
Bigger than
like the old.
No, I think it's the same size.
It looks like someone
has bigger tires.
It looks bigger.
That's bigger wheels and tires.
It is. Yeah, I was like, dude, that thing looks so massive. That video of it running around the RC compound, the Fullers with the Fullers. That video, I was like, wow, that thing's going around pretty good. Like it looks like it handles pretty good.
How cool would that be? How cool would it be to have like top drivers racing them in an expedition? Like, people would be able to relate with that.
Yeah, I feel like obviously it's up to Horizon if they want to do it, but they could probably do something at a real short course event. Like
100%.
Short course isn't that big to where they're probably open to whatever for a decent price. So you could probably get a little exhibition race going on at a full size short course race, and that'll catch eyes. I mean, I remember when we used to do the Lucas Oil races with Associated, just people driving around the track that we had set up caught a bunch of eyes.
Yeah, like at the event.
Like if you had people that could actually drive these things and race them, and they're big enough to where people can watch them and watch them tumble, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think people would be interested in that.
I agree. Joe, who is a 5th scale guy, says it's longer and 15 pounds heavier. I would assume that's from the batteries that it has to
so
hold
that's
to.
pretty big.
Yeah.
I heard it. Well, Jason Ashton got one. I think he's doing something at Mammoth with it, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's like, dude, this thing on 12S is insane. Like, there's no reason for this thing this big to be this fast.
But it would be cool. But if we can't have that, I think every manufacturer should make a 1/8 scale short course truck.
Yeah.
And I know people ain't gonna like this. I don't want to run 8 scale buggy tires on it either.
8 scale what?
I don't want 8 scale tires on it. I want short course tires.
Oh yeah, you have to run short course tires.
Yeah.
I don't want to see white dish wheels on a realistic looking truck.
No. Even when as I've been going to the INS, it's like when you got a stadium truck or a short course truck, it's like it's so much easier to follow. The body's huge, the painted awesome. It looks great. And yeah, I think it will be perfect for advertising of some sort, and people can relate to it. So I actually don't care what it is as long as we can get more people.
Yeah.
So
pretty much go all these ideas that we have, everyone just run with them in different directions, and we'll just try to get a group going.
Truggy is loud. It gets attention. So is Nitro buggies, and so would all that stuff be.
Truggy is fun. Don't get me wrong. I love driving Truggy, but it just doesn't get the turnout that is needed to make it really work.
Yeah, you need something that is relatable. I mean, listen, if you're people can relate. 29 million people watched my short course video because it was a short course truck. Yeah. Right. And they, oh, look at that truck. You can see it was a truck. It's we gotta think outside the box. I'm not dissing Truggy, but you can't tell the difference between a Truggy and a buggy nowadays. Even sometimes when I come to a track, I'm like, buggy or Truggy? Truggy.
Yeah, especially these days. I think that other thing that would be kind of cool, and this kind of goes off. It could get. I mean, I'd have to see like who would want to be doing it, but I think an FPV desert race would be pretty sick with like a UDR or a Super Baja Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So building something that you physically look like you're driving it. You have goggles on and you're driving from the inside. I used to have like the old Team Associated Nomad, which is like a caged car that was built on the old RC8.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove it with an FPV camera, and it was a cheap one, but I went and drove it. Like when you accelerate, like it's weird. Like you almost like you start to lean back because like what you're watching, the whole front of the truck goes up, and then under braking it like drops down, and then when you roll, like you almost like it like tricks your brain. Like you feel like you're actually driving the car. So if we could get, and with FPV, like they have head tracking units now to where you can take your goggles and look around, and you can like look out the side window, out the front window. I think doing like a little like, and you can do this in the desert. You just set up like markers in a section of the desert, and then drive through that. It doesn't have to be any jumps. You just got to have some like rough terrain, a little bit of a trail, and do like a loop within the range of the radio and FPV goggles. And I think you could do like time trials and have some fun with that. I think that would potentially could like get the gamer, the FPV drone guy, and the RC guy all in the same kind of event. Maybe it'll kind of strike the interest of all of them.
I've seen a lot of videos of FPV racing. I don't know if they're real, but people are doing like you've seen them. I know you've seen this Instagram videos where they're in the simulator and they're driving the RC car and all that type of stuff. I think definitely with something like that, it will be cool. I don't know if we could race against it, but doing time trials would be fun. But it's a way, right? A way to get people into it. So I actually think we need to hit it. I think we need to hit growing RC in every way possible. Parking lot races, this, doing that, whatever. We just need to go, and then we need to come together as a collective industry, and a collective as RC racers, and stop fighting change so much, and stop being so negative about things, and let's just understand that the growth of RC racing benefits everybody. Stop thinking about what it's going to do to your little RC bubble. You have more people to talk to RC and help out and do things with if you have more people.
And the majority, like when people like when I talk to people that don't know anything about RC or any of my friends that are outside of it, like they're, oh, like, what do you just like play with like toy cars outside? Like, oh no, we like race on like a mini supercross track. Like there's a lot of tuning. There's a lot of it's super involved. You're not just playing with like some toy that you get at Target. And then they watch it for the first time and they're like, oh wow, like this is actually a lot cooler than I thought. So I think one is a big conception about what we're actually doing. I think everyone just thinks we're just playing with toys. And grand scheme of things, we are, but they're complicated. They respond to setup changes. They are basically like racing real cars. If you don't have the money, if you don't want to go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go race our real car, so it's more feasible for the average person to do. And I think once people kind of realize that, and it kind of continues to go that way, then I think it'll continue to grow. It just takes years because, as we've seen, we've tried for a long time, and it just keeps.
We need to stop saying toy cars. Period. It's actually one of my biggest pet peeves. I tell people all the time, man, it's toy cars when you lose. It's sophisticated scale replica racing when you win.
Can you guys hear the rippers in the background now?
I can hear them in the background. Is that the fifth scales?
They're loud. My van is shut. My van is shut on all sides. Windows are all up.
Those things are. When I went to Silver State and Hard Hall, I was like, I don't need earplugs. Yeah, I do. They were loud, but they're fun. They look loud. Cool. They look very cool. All right. Trugginer, I know you're screaming at the TV. And what's up, Chad Roberts? How you doing?
What's going on, Chad?
Well, you need to go run some fifth scale this weekend. Go have some fun.
I'm gonna see if I can snag someone's radio for a lap.
I want to try.
But I don't want to break it because that looks like it's out of my price range. When Matt was showing me all the stuff, I think I built a fifth scale for someone. It didn't even have everything, and I think we ran up like a $50 build, and it was like not even like, it was just a basic engine. We didn't even do the engine. We just did like shocks, servos, some beefy parts, and that was it. And I was like, whoa. It's not even a top of the line truck.
It's so cool. I love, and people think they're slow. Not the ones I saw at Silver State.
Oh, they're not slow. They are not.
Those things
slow.
are fast. So
maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe, or like 7-8 years ago, they were a little slower and they weren't as responsive. But I watched Steve Harris wheel one of these things, and it was the most insane thing I've ever seen. It looked just like he was wheeling a truggy. I know.
I watched Kirkman and him run them at Silver State.
Yeah,
a few years ago. So I like them. All right. Well, Wally, I don't think we have any more questions coming in. It was a good coffee and RC with everybody in the chat. We greatly appreciate you guys joining us. And good questions brought up. We went on tangents I didn't think we were going to get on, but always a good discussion. That's what coffee and RC is about. We're just here hanging out with the chat and talking about RC. Wally, good luck at your race this weekend. I hope you have fun and get the results that you want. I want to thank you for your time coming on as well.
Thanks for having me.
And
appreciate it.
We need you guys in North Dakota, says BMX David. I've never been to North Dakota. So might have been close. I don't know. My geography on America is kind of messed up. And I want to thank all of you guys out there for hanging out with us on this Friday afternoon during your lunch break. I hope you guys have a great Friday. If you're going RC racing this weekend, safe travels to you. And I wish he says RC is anorexic out there.
Not a whole lot of racing that happens in North Dakota. At least I haven't heard. So.
Yeah, I know my buddy is from South Dakota and he races there, but it is small. But it's bigger than probably what we have here. We have none. We just have on-road racing, one on-road track, which I'm going to be racing her shortly. And Wally, thank you, JP, for your time. We want to thank all of you guys. I want to say a big shout out to the NNRC squad. Remember, if you guys are traveling to racing this weekend, be safe, be a good RC ambassador, have fun. Remember, we're here to have fun with RC first, and you should be smiling. We're fortunate to be able to do it, all of us. So,
100%.
Yes. So thank you guys all out there. He says, nice track in Jamestown. That's it. So, well, I hope you guys get some more tracks out there and get some racing going on. But I guess it all depends on population of racers too.
Yeah.
Wallie, have fun at that race. And shout out to all the SoCal guys. Big shout out to all of our sponsors. If you like what we're doing, support us by using the links in the written description. Also, if you like what we're doing, you want to support us a little bit more. If you haven't gone over to Wallie and sub to his Instagrams and supporting him, sending some business. If you haven't subbed to our stuff yet, on the road to 10,000 subs, become a member, become a patron. You all have a good weekend. Wallie, I think Wallie's gonna come on every few months or every couple of months. I think we're gonna have him on.
I like it.
You know, he's got somewhat reliable internet. I do apologize, you guys. I've had a very bad chest cold the last few days. And
how was the internet today?
It was better than the last time. It went up and down a little bit, but it could have been mine, but it was fine.
Nice.
And have a good weekend of RC, everybody. Lefty and Wallie. We'll talk to you guys later. Ta-ta for now.